A few years ago, I bought a random hybrid bike online, thinking it was the perfect commuter. 2 weeks later, the gears jammed on a busy intersection, leaving me stranded and frustrated. Choosing the right hybrid cycle is a nightmare, with so many brands promising the world but delivering flimsy frames and unreliable parts. You don't want to waste money on a shiny piece of junk. Today, I'm revealing the top hybrid bikes I've rigorously tested, saving you from the same painful mistake. Stick around because the number one pick completely redefined my daily commute. 7. Cyclist Sawyer hybrid bikes for women. Testing the Cyclist Sawyer hybrid bike for women was an experience of mixed emotions from the moment I unpacked it from its shipping box. Billed as a lightweight commuter and comfort bicycle, it certainly looks the part with its charming vintage aesthetic, beautiful paint job, and classic frame geometry. I took it out for a few spins around my local neighborhood, expecting a breezy, relaxed ride tailored perfectly for casual weekend errands, trips to the farmer's market, and smoothly paved bike paths. The step-through frame design is undoubtedly convenient, allowing for easy mounting and dismounting, which I heavily appreciated when navigating stop-and-go traffic in a bustling downtown area. Its swept-back handlebars successfully encourage a relaxed, upright riding posture that genuinely takes the pressure off your lower back and shoulders. However, I quickly noticed that the supposedly lightweight frame felt surprisingly sluggish and cumbersome when I attempted to tackle even a moderate incline, leaving me breathless and wishing for a much more responsive, modern build. While the saddle is aggressively marketed as an ultra-comfort feature, my longer test rides quickly proved otherwise. After about an hour of continuous pedaling along a scenic river path, the seat began to feel incredibly unforgiving, indicating a lack of sufficient, high-quality padding for extended journeys. Furthermore, the drivetrain, though perfectly functional for entirely flat surfaces, felt a bit clunky during gear shifts, sometimes hesitating and clicking loudly before finding the right cog when I needed sudden acceleration to merge into a bike lane. Ultimately, the Cyclist Sawyer is a decent enough choice if your only goal is a short, flat commute to a nearby coffee shop or a lazy Sunday ride around the block. 6. EOYOBIKE 700C hybrid bike. Moving on to the EOYOBIKE, I had high hopes that this model might successfully bridge the gap between stark affordability and reliable commuting performance. Upon final assembly, the bike presented itself as a sleek, aggressive urban warrior, complete with a practical headlight, safety reflectors, and a modern straight handlebar setup. I designated this bike as my dedicated daily driver for a solid 2 weeks to truly understand how it handled the unforgiving daily grind of city streets and suburban trails. The large 700C wheels do roll reasonably fast, and the slightly thinner tires provide a noticeable reduction in rolling resistance compared to traditional, chunky mountain bikes. When cruising on freshly paved asphalt, the EOYOBIKE feels quite zippy and energetic, allowing me to maintain a highly respectable cruising speed without exhausting myself before reaching the office. The included headlight is a genuinely nice touch for those late evening returns from work, adding a vital layer of safety straight out of the box without requiring extra trips to the bike shop. Sadly, the honeymoon phase ended abruptly when I took it on to rougher pavement, patched asphalt, and light gravel trails. The rigid frame and equally rigid fork transmit absolutely every single bump, crack, and vibration directly into the rider's arms and shoulders, making for a jarring and quickly fatiguing riding experience. I also experienced recurrent, frustrating issues with the braking system. The mechanical disc brakes felt dangerously squishy out of the box, requiring constant manual adjustment and lacking the sharp, immediate stopping power I expect when dodging unpredictable city traffic. This bike works adequately as an occasional, fair-weather commuter if you happen to live in an area with flawlessly maintained, glass-smooth roads, but it falls remarkably short in terms of overall versatility. 5. VIRIBUS hybrid bikes. The VIRIBUS marks a highly noticeable and welcome upward shift in overall component quality and daily riding enjoyment. Getting this lightweight aluminum commuter out onto the open road was an absolute breath of fresh air after the previous struggles. I spent a long holiday weekend putting the VIRIBUS through its paces, covering a wide variety of terrains ranging from smooth coastal boardwalks to slightly muddy park trails, and it immediately felt like a much more capable, refined machine. The high-quality aluminum frame is the undeniable star of the show here, significantly reducing the overall weight of the bike while maintaining excellent structural rigidity and power transfer. This made physically carrying the bike up a steep flight of stairs to my third-floor apartment surprisingly manageable, a crucial, everyday factor for dense urban dwellers. Out on the road, that noticeably lighter weight translates directly to brisker acceleration and a much easier time conquering those pesky uphill stretches that I used to absolutely dread on heavier steel models. Shifting on the VIRIBUS felt notably smoother, tighter, and more reliable, allowing me to seamlessly transition between gears exactly as the changing terrain dictated without dropping a chain. The hybrid tires strike a wonderful, sensible balance, providing just enough textured grip to feel completely secure on loose dirt paths while remaining slick enough down the center to glide effortlessly over concrete pavement. I found myself confidently taking tight corners at higher speeds, completely trusting the bike's stability and predictable handling characteristics during my frantic morning commutes. For everyday urban commuting and weekend cardiovascular fitness rides, the VIRIBUS proves to be a robust, highly dependable, and fiercely loyal companion. 4. Tommaso La Forma aluminum and carbon hybrid bike. The Tommaso brings a distinct touch of premium road bike pedigree to the hybrid category, and it quickly became one of my absolute favorites during the rigorous testing phase. Unboxing this beauty revealed a stunning, flawlessly painted white finish and a premium, high-end build featuring both a lightweight aluminum frame and a carbon fiber fork. I immediately took it for a high-speed, demanding test on an open, windy stretch of coastal road to see if its premium materials actually translated to tangible, real-world performance. The inclusion of a genuine carbon fork is an absolute game-changer for a hybrid bike existing in this specific competitive class. As I navigated aggressively over cracked pavement, nasty potholes, and irritating rumble strips, the carbon naturally and effectively absorbed the high-frequency road vibrations, drastically reducing hand and wrist fatigue. This crucial feature allowed me to ride much further and significantly faster than I typically would, enjoying a buttery smooth, luxurious experience that felt incredibly refined and professional compared to standard all-aluminum or heavy steel forks. Equipped with a highly respected Shimano Asura drivetrain, the La Forma offers crisp, razor-sharp, and precise shifting that never once let me down, even when I was aggressively changing gears under heavy load on steep inclines. The overall frame geometry leans slightly more towards a forward fitness posture, making it aggressive enough to generate serious pedaling power, but relaxed enough to keep your neck and spine from cramping. It feels incredibly fast, wildly agile, and highly responsive, reacting instantly to hard pedal inputs and tight, evasive steering maneuvers. If your primary goal is serious fitness tracking, fast-paced daily commuting, or effortlessly keeping up with friends on dedicated, skinny-tire road bikes, the Tommaso La Forma is an exceptional, top-tier choice. 3. Co-op Cycle CTY 1.1 bike. Cracking the elite top 3 is the Co-op Cycle CTY 1.1, an absolute masterclass in highly versatile, ultra-utilitarian, and virtually indestructible bicycle design. Brought to us by the outdoor experts at REI, this bike exudes rugged reliability and deeply thoughtful engineering from the very moment you swing a leg over the top tube. I spent several consecutive weeks using this as my sole primary mode of transportation, loading it up with heavy groceries, riding through sudden, freezing rain showers, and treating it like an absolute daily workhorse to see how it would hold up. The CTY 1.1 is masterfully built around a thick, sturdy aluminum frame that feels incredibly planted, secure, and bomb-proof, giving you immense confidence when navigating unpredictable, chaotic city terrain. What truly and profoundly impressed me were the heavy-duty mechanical disc brakes, which consistently offered phenomenal, popping stopping power regardless of the nasty weather conditions. Even when a sudden, torrential downpour caught me mid-ride, I could stop on a dime, safely and efficiently avoiding turning cars and oblivious pedestrians without a single hint of dangerous brake fade. The versatile 3x8 Shimano drivetrain provides a massive, highly adaptable range of 24 gears, meaning I always had the absolute perfect ratio whether I was blasting down a flat straightaway or slowly churning my way up a brutal, long-distance mountain climb. The thick 700X40C tires are wonderfully wide for a hybrid, easily soaking up massive potholes, safely navigating sharp curves. and cruising over loose gravel with a plushness that completely transforms the ride quality. It handles daunting urban obstacles with the heavy-duty grace of an SUV, but maintains the swift agility of a sports car. 2. Schwinn GTX Comfort Adult Hybrid Bike. Testing the Schwinn GTX was an absolute, unadulterated delight, as it represents a brilliant, perfect harmony between the rugged, off-road capabilities of a mountain bike and the swift, rolling efficiency of a pavement commuter. I took this aggressive dual sport machine to a massive local state park, tackling a wild mix of paved loops and unpredictable, route-filled dirt trails to truly test its boundless versatility. The standout, defining feature of the GTX is undoubtedly its plush front suspension fork, which fundamentally and wonderfully changes how you mentally approach rough, unforgiving terrain. Instead of frantically swerving to avoid every single route, rock, and divot on the trail, the suspension swallowed the harsh impacts effortlessly, keeping the front wheel firmly glued to the ground and my arms completely relaxed. This made transitioning smoothly from a pristine city bike lane directly to a bumpy, heavily wooded forest path field completely natural and remarkably comfortably smooth. The 21-speed twist shifters are highly intuitive, incredibly quick, and user-friendly, allowing for rapid, seamless gear changes with just a simple, effortless flick of the wrist. Combined with the aggressively treaded multi-use tires, I found myself effortlessly maintaining high momentum on smooth flats while having plenty of confidence, inspiring grip when the dirt suddenly turned loose and muddy. The mechanical disc brakes are brilliantly responsive and snappy, providing exactly the right amount of braking modulation so you can feather your speed perfectly when cautiously descending steep, winding hills. The Schwinn GTX is an absolute, undeniable triumph for anyone who stubbornly refuses to be confined to just one single type of riding surface or environment. It is incredibly comfortable, highly adaptable, and heavily built to easily withstand the rough rigors of adventurous weekend trail rides while simultaneously serving perfectly for the Monday morning concrete commute. 1. Cannondale Quick 2. From the very second I unboxed this striking engineering marvel, I knew with absolute certainty I was looking at the undisputed pinnacle of modern hybrid cycling. I completely cleared my weekend schedule specifically to put the Quick 2 through an exhaustive, brutal gauntlet of top speed tests, grueling long-distance endurance rides, and tight, complex urban maneuvering, and it absolutely obliterated every single expectation I had. The precise frame geometry on the Quick 2 is a bona fide masterpiece, offering an incredibly lightweight, advanced smart form C3 alloy frame paired brilliantly with a premium full carbon fork that makes the entire bike feel almost weightless underneath you. Acceleration is nothing short of blistering. Every single ounce of physical effort you put into the pedals translates immediately and powerfully into forward momentum. Cruising along the sprawling waterfront, I genuinely felt like I was flying, easily out-sprinting dedicated road cyclists, while heavily enjoying the superior comfort and upright visibility of a flat handlebar setup. The gorgeous 2X9 Shimano Sawyer drivetrain operates with a silky, whisper-quiet precision that you typically only find on high-end, ridiculously expensive professional racing bikes. Every single shift is instantaneous and crisp, and the hydraulic disc brakes are nothing short of phenomenal, offering effortless, smooth, one-finger stopping power that feels incredibly safe and totally authoritative in any weather. Additionally, the remarkably clever integrated wheel sensor connects seamlessly to the Cannondale smartphone app, magically providing incredibly accurate, real-time tracking of my speed, distance, and calories burned right on my phone. The Cannondale Quick 2 is drastically more than just a standard hybrid bike. It is a premium fitness tool, a lightning-fast urban commuter, and a unadulterated joy to operate every time you ride it.